Hello YouTubies, this is the Scribe and thank you for listening to this YouTube video, and we're going to talk about the Doctor Who and how it's been doing recently, and also go into the episode Rosa. Now, just to make it clear, I do not think it's a very good idea to put SJW trash narratives into a TV show. We are seeing the destruction of one of our most beloved TV series ever, step by step, by Chris Chibnall and his nutcase friends from the BBC. I'm very concerned with how they're actually running the programme. I think they're very misleading. I think they're very dangerous in some ways. I'm going to get into that, why I think they're dangerous. So let's talk about the episode Rosa, because this is one of the biggest episodes that shows where they're heading with this TV program, and you're going to see a lot of this racism, this prejudice, and the white guys always being evil, or some group that will not defend themselves from the BBC being classed as the evil ones. So with the Rosa episode, it was okay. I'm not going to say the episode was shot really bad and it looked crap and all that, because it was shot in a very interesting way, but it is propaganda and it is very, very dangerous. It would have been better as a drama rather than sci-fi. It kind of doesn't work because I know what they're actually using this for. It's very virtuous, and it's SJW narratives put into the show to try to lecture us on something, but it's worse than that. I will get into why this is very, very dangerous. At the moment in America, there is a cult called BLM, which is convincing young people of different races to go out, riot and damage property, and it destroys their lives by doing it. Some parts of that movement is okay. There's a lot of parts that is not, and it has been run by an actual terrorist at some point. They shot 5 police officers while chanting the phrase, "What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it now?" So when you have programs like the BBC drilling home just how screwed these people may have been in the past, because it wasn't across the world, it was only a certain state that made people sit at the back of the bus. And we'll get into why that is not even a good argument either. When you have the BBC drilling all this home, just how badly screwed they are, they go feel more victimised and they go act out even harder than they have been. They have literally been blocking traffic, blocking ambulances with children in who are in need of intensive care, because they feel that they have a right to protest, and they don't even know why they're protesting. They're protesting for some kind of thing where they feel like there's loads of racism, everybody's being bad to them, and they're not. They're attacking the wrong people. The BBC could have calmed the water here by showing how people actually cared, but they didn't want to do that. They want to go down complete racism field, in where the white people in this particular program, Rosa, were all evil. Not one of them, not one bloody one of them in that program was nice to any of those black people, except for the BBC crew, the white woman doctor and one of the white companions who also was in a relationship with somebody of a different race, which is all fine. I'm in a relationship with somebody of a different race. Very, very dangerous, the game they're playing. I'm not sure if they're actually doing it on purpose, or they're just not realising just how bad it looks when people actually look at it from perspective of people who've actually lived in America or have experienced some problems in America. When you drill home just how bad people were, and it's only the law that's stopping them from being this nasty like you saw in the program. Otherwise this could be nasty to everyone. Every single white person in this program was a racist. Every single one of them. If I'm somebody of an ethnic minority and I see that, I would say, well, the only reason why these people are being nice to me is because they're forced to. Otherwise they'll be spitting in my face, being nasty to me, and it doesn't give very good vibes. especially when there's a lot of uproar and tension between race in America at the moment. The Rosa episode was based in what happened in America, and there are Americans who actually watched that. It's not very good at promoting good feelings between the races. It doesn't help the divide. Yeah, what it does is it creates a bigger one. Secondly, let's go into the one of the main problems I have with the fact that not a single person who was white in that program was nice. Not a single one of them, except for one of the companions and the doctor, who isn't even human. It's very, very dangerous for people of cults to see that, because they're going to be driven even madder than they already were. Every single program is saying how screwed they are. None of the programs show how caring some white people are. Let me give you a clue. Why didn't they actually base this program, let's say, in a British setting during a time in the 80s when children were starving in Africa, and millions of people within Britain helped raise funds for the people of Africa? Millions, including myself, by the way. I was in school back then. I was very, very young. The early 80s, yes, I was very, very young at that time. That I saw the program of children who were suffering in Africa. This has got nothing to do with racism either. Nothing at all. The white people weren't responsible for it. It's because they were at war, and it drove a load of people out in a kind of exodus, and they didn't have enough food, and people started to starve. And they showed that on television, which was a good thing. They needed to be shown. And I saw it, and as a kid I was literally in tears about it. And I actually helped raise a hell of a lot of money back then. I mean, it was something like £100 or so, but if you take the fact that this was in the 80s, that's worth a lot more than £100 today. I was kind of pleased with it, and you know, it did help people, and it did show the African communities and the black people that people generally do care. How about this? How about have that bad guy who was a racist try to stop that? How about that? That would create a bigger racial divide, because now we have nobody who is representing these people in a good way where they are actually helping. This shows the kindness of the human spirit. But no, the Doctor Who team didn't go there, did you? You went straight to the scum, and you said this is exactly what these people are like. Yeah? And this is one reason why I do not like the show Doctor as much anymore, because you are virtue signaling. You're worse than that. You're a propaganda minefield of hate, and you're very, very dangerous and very, very devious. How about this, BBC? How about this? Are you going to cover your own controversial scumbaggery tricks that you've done in the past? How about child rape? You going to cover that? Oh yes, I remember something you've done on the. You created a recent program where there was an alien race. It was also racial divide, by the way, because that's what they're going in through nowadays. They covered a Hindu and a Muslim getting married, where the Hindus were all racist. Yeah, which is very, very rare, by the way, because they're not. They may be one of the most peaceful people on the earth, especially people like the Skeef and all that. That's what a lot of people like about them. But the BBC tend to go down this route where they attack people who will not defend themselves against them. But I noticed something very sinister about your program there. You had an alien race who had destroyed their own planet. That's like comparable to the humans, isn't it? Because you think we're destroying the planet, right? And they destroyed the planet, and now they're witnesses to all the people who died alone and were vulnerable, etc. Yeah? Do you want me to tell you something? That's you. That's the BBC, isn't it? Personification of you. You screwed people over in the past. You, the media, created slavery. You did. And you, the big guys at the top, created all the oppression in the world, right? And you have the audacity to lecture us in a program like Doctor Who, where you filled it with propaganda scummery, to try to trick people into thinking you're doing a good thing when you're actually creating a bigger fucking divide. And you know exactly what you're doing, and you still do it. This is one reason you will fail. It really concerns me how people don't see what's going on. I mean, they create an alien in which they can be shown to be similar to that alien. You know, we are witnesses. We are bearing witness to all the bad deeds that happened before in our program. Yes, the guy being shot, the racist people on the bus telling the woman to get to the back of the bus. Only the cool kids sit at the back of the bus, people. The front of the bus is meant for old people, disabled, and the sick. Okay? Let's make that clear. Only the cool people sit at the back of the bus. Even I have been told to move at the back of the bus, and I would when I was younger, to respect the elders. We've known this for a very long time. It's got nothing to do with racism. And a lot of the program in Rosa is full of propaganda. And I do understand where the black community comes from with this, by the way, because they were fighting for something. Martin Luther King was assassinated because he was very dangerous. He was dangerous because he didn't hate white people. He was going against the system. And the same with the other guy, Malcolm X. He was also another guy who was very prominent and very powerful and very smart in the past. Now that's the kind of people you want to see on TV these days, but we don't see that anymore. We just see the crazy BLM who are being worked up, fired up by the media constantly. They're made to feel like victims, so they can never actually feel like they can be something else or achieve other things. And when you resuscitate all the negative things from the past, a person can't heal. And the fact of the matter is, most of this bad things that happened in the past didn't happen to them. You see, I have relatives who fought in a war. Should I hate the Germans? Should we have programs where we attack the Germans and show them all to be bad, etc., and then, you know, form a cult or a group to attack Germans? No, I think that's ridiculous. Another thing is, I'm not very keen on having a program that has racism as the evil. Racism as the evil. The evil in this program now, and the bad guy, is racism. That's all it is. Or sexism. In one particular program, they had the man who was pregnant. I'm pretty sure that's about equal rights, where man can be any sex he wants, and so can a woman, and maybe they can have a child if you alter the hormonal levels, which has been discussed before. There was also a story about a man giving birth who was really a transsexual, and a lot of this is SJW trash. It's trash narratives put in the program, and it's damaging it. It's making it look kind of ridiculous. It appears like a joke. I'm not sure the BBC actually understand this. Your program appears like a joke now. I mean, what's next? Are you going to... Oh, you've already made a joke about Trump, haven't you? Personification of Trump. He's also jealous of Trump, so he attacked them. But Jodie also hates Trump too. And you also, in the previous series, had the doctor mention how evil Trump was, despite the fact he's never created a war. America at the moment has a better economy than it did before, but you hate Trump. You hate Trump. Why? Why would the doctor fucking hate Trump? Why? What's this got to do with the sci-fi? What's he done wrong? Tell me. You tell me, Doctor Who team. What's he done wrong? What's next? What's the next episode you go to have? You go talk about Brexit, yeah? You go talk about some shit in Brexit, and say something like with the doctor, we had a kind of Brexit on Gallifrey, and it nearly destroyed our planet. Yeah, but we stopped it because we are miles and miles and billions upon billions of years more advanced than you guys. Oh, and you've also beyond gender. As Peter Capaldi's doctor said, it's been ridiculous for years, actually. You're destroying the program. You're destroying the program by all this ridiculous SJW trash narratives. SJW trash narratives. It's not politics. There's always been politics within the show, but some of it's been good. There was one case where one of the writers was against transhumanism, which involves cutting parts off you and replacing it with machines, and they pretty much damaged that political movement with the Cybermen, Whenever somebody's trying to cut themselves off and put different machine parts, it always turned out to be a Cybermen episode, and the Doctor was very critical of it. I guarantee you nowadays it won't be critical. It'll be, oh, that's absolutely marvelous technology. Yeah, you're improving yourself. Yeah. What next? You'll cut your head off. This is where the program's going. Anything the politicians want put into this program, they will. I remember a previous episode in which I think it was Peter Capaldi. He said, the people of Earth will never allow you to share their planet. They'll think you're trying to steal their benefits. Well, that's got something to do with the sound seekers, hasn't it? In a situation where we are literally having threats of violence put against us in this country, and we can't handle a mass amount of immigrants who have a hatred for some people in Britain. Now, it's not all of them, of course it's not all of them, but it's still a dangerous situation when making sure we bring in the best people into Britain, or the people who actually really need it. It's people who are pretending to be children and not, or they're at war with our country, and they're pretty much dangerous to allow in. These are all threats. It's a shame that we have to deal with that, and it's a shame that other countries also have to deal with it, as well as the immigrants who are actually trying to run away from a conflict. It puts them at a disadvantage because people think they're coming in for invading, which is mostly not true. But it concerns me, the jihadists who are dangerous at the moment, and we don't want to just allow them in. So we do have to make sure our borders are controlled properly. Well, programs like this make out that we're the bad guys. That's what the problem is. It's lecturing us every single second of the day, and it's not good. Anyway, thank you for listening. Goodbye for now. See you later.